The government has succeeded in ousting a very vocal attorney who has fought to maintain his client's innocence amid an alleged contraband conspiracy at the Department of Corrections. Here's more. Attorney Vandeveld, do you care to comment on the judge's decision in regards to your disqualification as Jeff Limo's attorney in the case?
Well, we're awaiting the court's written order. I believe that it's in error. There is no evidence whatsoever in the thousands of pages of discovery. There's nothing directly in the plea agreement that Ms. Holcoke would be able to testify against Mr. Limo in any regard, and I don't believe that adequate showing has been made to require disqualification.
At the start of court proceedings for the case, attorney Curtis Vandeveld represented Jeff Limo and Roxanne Holcoke. Both were named in the same indictment related to allegations of conspiracy to promote major prison contraband, bribery, and official misconduct, among other charges. Shortly thereafter, Vandeveld withdrew as Holcoke's attorney, but continued to represent Limo. In response, the government filed a motion to disqualify Vandeveld on the grounds of conflict of interest. Assistant Attorney General James Collins asserted that the root of the conflict lays in Vandeveld being able to cross-examine Holcoke, his former client. Vandeveld fired back, stating, quote, "Where is the evidence that says she has any knowledge of Limo's conduct? Only evidence is the statement that she knows no evidence against Limo," end quote. After hearing from both sides, Superior Court Judge Vernon Perez postured that a potential for conflict is present, and, quote, "Although there is a right to representation by chosen counsel, there are also limitations in doing that," end quote. But is there a legal counsel that will not be in conflict of interest in this case? As you may recall, the case involves 13 defendants, and at the beginning of the court proceedings, finding legal representation has been an issue for other defendants.
That's a very important question, and the court has indicated its difficulty in locating successive counsel for Ms. Holcoke, and did not disqualify the succeeding counsel to me, Ms. Heighton, and appointed her to another attorney, to another defendant who also is facing trial.
If that is the case, is there really a conflict of interest? Vandeveld disagrees.
It seems to me that the conflict of interest is only being asserted to try to keep me out of the case as opposed to any other attorney, and I think that that's part of the misguided portion of the court's order.
In any case, Limo must make a decision on how he will proceed.
Move is consult with my client, which I will do, and then we will decide from there what direction representation of him will take.
Is there a possibility you may take it to a higher court?
That's one option. Another option would be for him to decide that he simply wants to employ other counsel, and at this point in time, I'm not sure what that decision will be.
Reporting for PNC News, I'm Jolene Tovez.
In what could possibly be Vandeveld's last act as Limo's attorney in the criminal matter, he was able to have the house arrest conditions for his client lifted. We should note that Vandeveld continues to represent Limo in his civil service case.